Hey everyone, how's everybody doing today? I want to share a product I've recently got with you. It's the Avermedia Live Gamer Ultra. So basically when you get it, I left the box at home, but so this is what it looks like when you get it. My iPhone 8 Plus S is bigger than this capture device. So just like any other typical capture device, it has USB, I don't know why I say USB, it has HDMI in, HDMI out, HDMI 2.0, and it has the newer style of USB Type-C. So it's using USB 3.1, not USB 3.0. So that guy can capture up to 4K at 30 frames per second. If you actually wanted a device that can capture 4K at 60 frames, you're going to need an internal card. I would suggest going with the Live Gamer 4K GC553, but you need a high-end rig to run that anyway. So if you have the money to build a wicked PC, then you have the money to buy that capture card. But anyways, so the resolution supported for this capture device, maximum recorded resolutions is 4K at 30 frames, 2.5K 60 frames, 1080 at 120 frames, and 1080p at 60 frames with high dynamic range. It has a max pass-through resolution, so that means that you could run your Xbox One X, let's just say your Xbox One X or your PS4 Pro at 4K at 60 frames, and the capture device will capture only 4K at 30 frames per second. The supported formats, if you care about that, is MPEG 4, H.264, or H.265. But I believe H.264 is really up to resolutions, I believe up to 1080, and anything higher than that I believe is H.265. I could be wrong. And this is not my normal setup because this is my out-of-town setup. I recently bought this laptop here, this Alienware laptop. I bought pretty much one of the best you can get on the market right now. The downfall about this capture device is you're going to need a high-end laptop or a high-end desktop. For me, I ideally see it being used mostly for a laptop. But if you're going to go with a laptop to capture 4K at 30 frames, again, that's the maximum it only supports that. You're going to need a desktop with an Intel Core of i5 6000 or above, and with a graphics card of GTX 1060 or above, and at least 8 gigs of RAM. And a laptop, you're going to need at least an Intel Core i7 7700 HQ above, and you're going to need a graphics card of 1050 Ti or above, and 8 gigs of RAM. So if you're going to need, and then it gives the other resolutions here too. It gives you like for 1080p with 4K H60p HD pass-through supported. So again, that's if you're running the Xbox One X and you wanted to capture, I don't know, 1080 at 60 frames, but still be able to see whatever you're doing in 4K at 60 frames on your monitor. And you're going to need an Intel Core of i5 44 so the number's going to mess up, i5 at 4440 310 gigahertz or above, and you're going to need at least a graphics card of 660 or above, and you're going to need 4 gigs of RAM or 8 gigs recommended. And for a laptop, you're going to need at least a laptop with the Intel Core i7 481, or actually 4810 MQ above. Sorry, I'm just kind of wandering off here. And you're going to need at least a graphics card with 780 or above and 8 gigs of RAM. So yeah, I don't capture anything at 4K, so I mean, I just bought it because I don't know, I always wanted it. I'm using the first generation PS4. I actually do have a PS4 Pro, but it's still in the box. And I do have an Xbox One X, which I use quite frequently. But I personally use the Live Gamer 4K capture card that's built internally anyways, so I have a pretty high-end rig. Actually, I got 2 high-end rigs plus this laptop. But if you just want to capture 1080 at 60 frames per second, I'm just going to recommend this, even though I'm not going to be talking about it really. Is the Live Gamer Mini. The model number for that one is GC311, and that one can capture up 1080 at 60 frames per second, and supports USB 2.0, so you can have a lower end laptop or desktop and be able to capture the footage you want to capture. Again, I don't really think that you could stream 4K at 30 frames per second on Twitch or Mixer. I could be wrong. I'm still kind of learning the streaming community and what's a requirement, but I believe that 720 at 60 frames still looks pretty good for that stuff. And as well, is the only thing I don't like about this capture device or Avermedia software is that the RECentral, again, it can capture whatever software or it can capture whatever resolution you want, depends on what system you're using at that time. So again, if let's say you're using Xbox One X, you can capture 4K at 60 frames per second, but it's only really going to capture 4K at 30 frames per second. But again, you need a high-end laptop or a desktop. But I always notice that all the footage that's captured in RECentral is always not synced with the video. So like the video would be like half a second off.
No way. Can't be alive. Oh shit.
I mean, it's okay if you know how to, if you're really good at editing quick and fix that, but if you wanted something right away, just like boom, put it into post, cut it to where you want to cut it, and then everything's in sync, the video and audio is in sync, and then you just render it and you upload it and you're ready to go. But I mean, it could be a hassle depending on how long the video is and how many cuts you have in it. Obviously, what I would do is just sync the video and then cut it from there, but again, once you cut it, it may not line up with the actual video, which might be a little annoying. But anyways, I'm sort of a little biased on capture card software. I use XSplit for my recordings and for my streaming. So I mean, I don't use OSB or Streamlabs. So yeah, I got this. Yeah. So anyways, I don't prefer using RECentral, but I mean, if you want to use it, go right ahead. But just note that I find that happens with me. I personally haven't tried this on my desktop yet, but I should. But I'm probably going to get the same results where the audio is not really synced with the video. The last thing is I got this capture device for about $225 Canadian, which is quite good, because if you were to try to buy this brand new from like Best Buy or anywhere, it's like $325. So I was saved about $100 actually. I actually bought this brand spanking new, not even opened, from a pawn shop in Canada, from a website. I guess someone went and bought it brand new and just never used it, and they just sold it to the pawn shop. So yeah, I do recommend it. But I mean, there's different classes of what you're willing to spend, or let's say you have an older computer that can only do so much. I mean, if you only want to capture 1080 at 60 frames a second, again, I would go with that Live Gamer Mini. That's a good capture device from the specs I read, and I've been quite happy with Avermedia stuff. I mean, I don't really use Elgato. I mean, I have some of their stuff. Elgato makes really good products as well. But yeah, I would recommend buying this capture card if you have a high-end laptop and wanted to buy a capture card that can capture 4K at only 30 frames. But I mean, you never know what's going to happen, what's the new systems come out and stuff. So yeah, I really do suggest buying it. Again, depends on where you're wanting to capture and what you're looking to do. So it's all about, I guess you can say, called applications. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed my video, and you guys take care. Bye bye.